So there's a $200 PA in this box, and we're gonna find out today if it's any good. But first I have to shout out today's patron, of course, and that patron shout out goes to Carl Izord. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's open up this box. So you guessed it, once again, we are out in the Beat Barn getting ready for Freebeat Live 2026. But there's been one aspect of this whole prep process that I have not really showcased, and that's because it's quite bad. See, up until now, we've had no real way to actually hear the music coming out of any of the gear I've been using. I've been okay because I've either had my over-the-ear headphones or in-ear monitors, but anybody else in the barn hasn't really been able to hear my music. We've just been using this terrible old, I don't even know what brand this is. It's just some like cheap Amazon thing. It's got a sub and then two little satellites here. And it's been so blown out, it has just sounded like total garbage, and I felt really bad for anyone who's had to listen to it. And this has kind of been the case for every single Freebeat Live in years past. I've used like a little bass amp before, just to get some audio into the room, but I've never invested any money at all in any sort of speaker. And I figured, well, why not? Let's make this the year that it finally happens, especially because there is going to be a small in-person audience this year for Freebeat Live. The most people we've ever had in years past, I think outside of crew, was 3, and it was pretty easy to get those 3 people plus my wife and Oliver on headphones. That was just 5 pairs. That's doable, but I think we're gonna have like 8, 9, 10 people this year, including crew, but still, that's a lot of headphones. And so I went on Amazon and searched for a budget PA system. The one I found is obviously in this box here, and it costs $218. So I do not have high hopes at all. I just want it to be better than those cheap, terrible speakers that we've been using for the past few months here. I couldn't even tell you what brand this is. I'll have to look it up and just put it on screen because I found it on Amazon. $218 US. Oh, it's from Pyle. Oh, okay, well they're at least a known brand in the world of audio. They make like budget gear and stuff. I honestly looked at so many options yesterday, I probably forgot the one I ordered. Now, I don't know too much when it comes to like actual audio gear, live stuff like this. Despite playing live for many, many, many years, I always just showed up and played the drums and then went home or went to the bus or went to the hotel. You know, I never really gave things like this the time of day they probably actually deserved. So I'm interested to see what $200 actually gets me in terms of amplification here. Another reason I went with such an affordable option was because I didn't feel the need to spend a bunch of money on something for out here in the barn, you know what I mean? So I want to say that this is a 700 watt PA system, which is not a lot, but again, it's just for out here in the barn, and it's really just for reference. I mean, it'll be nice that the people in person here won't have to use headphones, but this is not going to shatter anyone's brain. That's not a saying. It's not going to break anyone's brain or shatter anyone's notions of what live music can be. I am going to save all this packaging just in case I have to send this back. You never know with some of the cheaper stuff that you can get. There's always a chance of there being some sort of defect. And here's our instructions. Looks like dual loudspeaker sound package, 8-inch subwoofers, wireless Bluetooth streaming, 2 speaker stands, wired microphone, remote control, 700 watts. I will not be using the microphone with this or the wireless capabilities. I really just wanted a basic little PA system. Okay, let's get this plastic off of here. Let's see what we're working with here. So we do have an SD card and USB. That's cool, I guess. Little display, the most minimal amount of EQ. There's our speaker out, an aux in, and a line in. So I will literally just be feeding this a mix off the board. Mono, just nice and basic. That's all I wanted. So I/O wise, this honestly looks okay for what I was after. Like, if I'm being completely honest. I like how this one is labeled MP3 volume. Let's get these stands unboxed now, and it sounds like there might even be a guest appearance from our new puppy. Okay, so these stands look pretty basic. Yep, they are. That's okay. Nice and simple. Don't really need anything fancy, especially not at this price point. Again, this is barely more than $200 US, so I'm expecting the bare minimum here, and I'm okay with that. I spent the money knowing that I would have to be okay with it. I'm also now realizing that this cable it came with is just to connect the two speakers to each other, and pretty much nothing else. All right, let's see how high this thing can go. Not very. Again, that's okay. Pretty much gonna max it out here. It does give you this little pin here, which is nice, so it's not gonna slip on you. Okay, let's mount the first speaker here. All right, first speaker is on the stand, and yep, that's about what I expected for $200 US. And as promised, here is the puppy. Okay, well, I thought she'd be more excited to meet everybody. I guess not. And there goes my wife. All right, it looks okay up there. I'm sure we'll adjust placement and stuff later. Let's get the other one on the stand now. Okay, and there they are. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and connect the two speakers together. So for that, we'll go speaker out, and then we'll go into the input there. And yeah, it almost reaches all the way around. Obviously, during the actual show, it'll get ran under this riser, and it'll also get ran under the drum riser. And we are gonna have to come up with a better power solution, because right now that's the only surge protector I could get to reach. Unfortunately, the final outlet on that one is dead now. So that will be a bit of organization we'll have to worry about. I'll probably just have Oliver bring an extra extension cord with him tomorrow, because I am currently using every single extension cord that I own, which is like 6. It's a lot. Anyway, let's go ahead and power this on. Okay, it just says no. That's kind of funny. Yeah, seems to work no problem. Let's go ahead and plug it into the main board, shall we? All right, plugged into the main line in there, and on the other end of that, we're going into headphone out D, or monitor out D, rather, on the LiveTrack L12. So very quickly, let's hit D and drop all of these channels to off, except for this one. This is where the SP404 Mark II is going into. We'll hit D there, and let's go test it out. Just struck me to set both of these to neutral and turn up MP3 volume, which I'm guessing is this input here. Maybe it's this one, I'm not sure. There we go, we'll set everything to like 1/4, just in case. Okay, I can hear it. I don't know if you can, but I can hear it. All right, well, do they sound good? No, they don't. Do they sound way better than those speakers over there? Yes, absolutely. We're gonna give it a little more bass. We're going to turn up the main here and just see what these can do. I'm gonna put you all right here, and I'm actually gonna take off my microphone so you're just listening through the onboard mic on the camera. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I stopped the camera and messed around with them for about another 20 minutes. Am I in love with these speakers? Absolutely not. Would I recommend them even at $218 US? Absolutely not. I think they sound pretty bad. They're muddy, but without having really any low end. Everything is really, really clustered. And you know, it's what I was expecting pretty much. But I do now have some sort of amplification for the show, and it's also going to make it a lot easier for us to program the lights moving forward. So while it's definitely not a great PA system whatsoever, and I don't recommend it, I don't regret the purchase either. It was 200 bucks, and they're just some speakers to have just in case I need them for something. You know, if we host like a party here or something like that, throw some music on, no one's really gonna care at the end of the day. So while I don't love them, I don't even really like them, and I think they're bad, it was pretty cheap. So I don't feel like ripped off or anything like that. It's about what I expected. Anyway, I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.